he's bigger or stronger and I want to give him a incentive to go down, if you've never had your quadricep muscle split and your bone touched by Mr. Green's knee, you're missing a real important aspect of your life. But you're here, you can knee this leg this way and then swallow this up to this knee on belly position, right? A note on this position, just for self-defense purposes, is I like to be knee on belly because if you're out in the street and not here, what happens is he has friends, and I don't want to end up transitioning to side control position, and I end up with multiple people having to interact or deal with. From here, this is fine. If something else happens, I can move, I let go, I can disengage, I'm up, I can watch my surroundings right. I'm not sitting on his leg, I'm actually up, like what we did in class, right? Kind of riding this out. Get him to sit, push that arm across. Doesn't like it. Using that shoulder pressure. Bring this across my leg. Okay. Into a back ride position. Right? Now, there's a submission from here, right? There it is. Right? There's wrist lock from here. There's all kinds of super fun stuff you can do, but for basic takedown and knee on belly to override the back technique. Right? Does that make sense?
Sir.
All right, any questions? All right.
Let's drill it.
Right? So he goes to throw a punch. Remember, I'm not hanging out here. So he goes to me, right? I'm just stepping up, right? So we're here. And when I get down here, right, I get asked questions about, well, hey, you're there, now you can like draw your pistol and start doing this. It's not really tactically a good idea, because what does he have free? Yeah, I'm controlling this arm. I'm right-handed. Yeah, now we're kind of in a fight, right? So if you're gonna try to apply this technique in that respect, when I apply this pressure and he pushes, and I go to bring this over this way, so as we come over, now if I want to draw a pistol and do something, I can take his 7 holes he's naturally been born with, multiply them by 6, 10, 12, however many bullets are in your magazine. Fair? But a little different variation on this is sometimes you get here, you got this good position, it's good, you start putting this pressure on, but maybe you miss his hand, so he starts trying to roll that way, right? You can pull his hand with you, right? Let him. I'm just gonna drop my chest to his tricep. Now try to push into me, right? Try to hit me something. Right? There's a choke here. I'll leave my hand on his neck. But from here, I have a really good gift wrap. From this position, I just drop my chest behind his shoulder and I keep myself parallel to the mat. I'm not trying to raise up. I'm here. I'm just gonna do this. Now I'm in a really good position for a back take, right? So same idea from the beginning. Pull them right down. You're ending up here. The only difference is he's gonna try to roll away. When he does, I can let him. Make sure my chest controls his tricep. I've got a good grip here. There's a choke here if you want it. Right? Out here. My chest goes behind his shoulder, right? And then I just roll him over. Transition to a back take. Keep my grip right. Hey, put your left hand out. Take your blade. Take. Right? Or you can submit him in jiu-jitsu class. Whichever one you'd like to see. Any questions? Just different variations, same thing.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank y'all. 2-1.
First things first, let's just say it took me down. He's starting to pass my guard. Okay, there's 2 options you can do, right? 1-on-1, we're going for an underhook, right? So as he's passing my guard, I go for an underhook. This left knee, I bump it over. I come here, knee tap, okay? So we're here, we go for the underhook. As he's passing, I bunk him forward with my left knee. Pretty much it's on knee and his butt. Good way to see it. Then I'm gonna go belly down. Grab one foot, reach to the knee, buck him over. You can pass however you want. I'll probably go to the backside. Okay? That's the first one. The second one. They're coming. I can't get the underhook. He's coming to settle side control. As he's coming to settle side control, we've been taught from day one to have this arm under the head to have a good side control. So what I'm gonna do is probably my personal favorite. As he's settling in, here, go around, reach over, strip away.
That's the George special
Okay.
right there.
So, as he's passing my guard, I can't get the underhook. He's coming in, I'm already coming under here. Right there. Reach over, big old snaky, and here we are. Until scrap. Okay? Those are pretty simple, but, I mean, simple is good to me. Questions, or one more time, or are we good?
Can we see the first one again?
Yeah, first one. So as he's passing, I want to go for this underhook right here. Okay, that's the goal. All right? Once I got this, he keeps passing. Once I get good positioning on my left knee, I bump him over. Okay? I'm going to go belly down. Reach his hand. Okay? Tip him over. Pass however you want.
Yes, sir.
Questions?
So when you're going for the knee tap, I noticed that time you went straight to the other leg. So your grip on the leg closest to you.
Yeah, so you can come up as a knee tap, or some guys, some wrestlers like to come up for a single leg. You know, it's just in the moment who you're going, what's the positioning they're giving you, right? So as he's passing, underhook, buck him here, right? Randy's pretty high on me, so I'm gonna come here and grab here. I can go here, or I can grab this foot, grab the knee, and buck him.
Personal preference.
Yeah, personal preference. It just, the main concept is once they're passing, underhook, and buck them with your knee. That's really the key. Then after that, knee tap, or you can come up with the leg. So I've been caught with this many times. Someone, especially wrestlers, they'll grab your leg and then it's over with. You're just on your back before you know it. Questions?
No, sir.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
That was a good one. I was about to see how like you're a lot more stable, like kind of let like there's like a time to kind of move and be like, and then there's a time to kind of like settle down. Here. I have my underhook.
I think I get caught trying to hit when they're back on my
Now do it from southpaw.
This way? Yes. Yeah.
A lot of times you Stephanie, you can just take. Oh wait.
So I like flow drills. I think they're fun. I think that a lot of times, like people will ask me, you know, what do you do like when you're rolling? Like, how do you know that? How do you do that? And I'm like, I don't know. It's just years of training jiu-jitsu. My body has done certain moves like thousands of times, and then I just naturally do it when I roll. And I kind of think that's like the kind of what we're going for. That's like the point of jiu-jitsu. Also, I feel like when I was a blue belt, I was like so hungry for new stuff, worm guard, daily hiva, reverse daily hiva, whatever, like all new. And like as I've become black belt, like it's just so much simpler. Like I'm not doing a lot of crazy stuff, and it really does kind of come back to the basics. I'm gonna show a Kimura from guard, and it's not actually the Kimura that is the technique in itself, because I think that catching submissions is in transitions if you want them to be successful. If you're going against even like a brand new white belt who's really strong and has no technique, it's still going to be really hard to force your submission on them. So I believe in catching submissions in transitions, and when we kind of make this flow drill, we will begin to catch this in the transition. I'm going to have you on bottom first. So we're just going to start super basic. She's going to get my hands on the mat. She's going to sit up and go for her Kimura. As she falls back, I'm going to step my foot forward, okay? So that's like the number one thing. When I start getting Kimura, if I don't have any sort of grip on anything, I start to panic. I'm like, oh crap, they're about to get this. So instead of trying to reach for my leg, start kind of yanking my arm away. Yeah, instead of reaching for my leg, I'm gonna take my leg where my hand is. From there, I'm gonna drop my knee to the mat. A lot of times that creates pressure on their shoulders and makes it really uncomfortable for them. However, there are people that are like, nope, I'm still gonna work this more. I'm one of those people. So from here now, I'm gonna start pressuring down the leg and pushing that thigh or knee, and I'm gonna step over. I'm gonna start transitioning to a technical mount position. So I'm keeping my ear on her shoulder. I still want her body pinned, a lot of connection here. I'm gonna drop, I'm gonna do 3 things at once. I'm gonna drop this knee as I raise my other knee. So that's the first 2 things, dropping a knee, raising a knee. Then I'm going to rotate my hand to hook around her neck. So I drop, raise, and I start this rotation, and I'm gonna hook all the way around her neck, all right? From this position, I've already got my first hook for the back, all right? So from here, a big mistake that people make is they will just fall on their hip to go to take the back, and this person rolls right into guard, and you've lost your advantage. So, for the sake of like white belts and stuff, we'll start from the beginning so you get to see the extra. She goes, no, it's fine, stay inside. She goes for the Kimura, step forward, drop, push down the leg, step over, drop the knee, raise the knee, turn the hand, and start to hook around. From here, I'm gonna set her all the way up, all right? Does this even feel good for you? No. And I could choke her with her braid too. So I'm gonna start to set my other hook. I fall on my opposite hip and I take the back, okay? So if I'm taking the back here and I start kind of going for a choke or something on this side and she's defending that, I'm gonna swim through my other arm. I'm gonna grab her wrist and I've got this nice little good back position here. I like this super grip when going for back mount arm bars, because when I start to walk my legs up on her, I'm kind of preventing her from grabbing her own bicep, but she's still aware. She's like, oh crap, like she's got my arm. So as I start kind of walking my legs up and I circle her head out, she's already got her bicep and she's ready for her armbar defense. So when I throw my leg over, she's gonna push that off, shoulder walk, and she's gonna turn into me. As she turns into me, I go for my Kimura. She grabs and drops, steps over, and she's gonna drop and raise, boom, right there. So she sits me up, takes my back, all right? Go ahead, yeah, so if I'm already defending this arm, she's gonna swim through, get her seatbelt on the opposite side, and she gets a little super grip here, okay? As already I'm aware, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start grabbing my bicep right here. So I work this leg off of my head, I bridge all of my weight onto her leg, shoulder walk, and I turn to guard. Don't put your hands on the mat here. All right, as best as you can, try to keep them in the body, but still, she's gonna snatch up that Kimura. I'm gonna step forward, grab, drop, pass, turn, sit her up, all the way to the other side, taking the back. She starts defending right there. I sneak through here. Of course, you can finish chokes here or get that seatbelt super grip on the other side. I like to begin walking up, then make that transition, boom. She catches the leg, pushes it off, all of her body weight's on me, and then you can switch to the other side and start working the drill. So it's a submission flow drill, Kimura, and arm bars. We good on that? Yeah. All right, good luck. 1, 2. Okay, she Bridget. So, back. So like, you know, when you're throwing up lazy arm bars like this, it's so easy for people to escape. So if you're not already, play with this super grip arm bar, because when I start walking my legs up, I can use my arm or my foot to defend her arm from grabbing. Try to grab your own hand. Like it's not happening, okay? And then you can start working on tucking that arm So when we kind of just throw up lazy arm bars, like, oh, I'm going for this back mount arm bar. Yeah, it's like, if you're gonna go for a submission, think about what they're gonna do next and like, oh, I know how to grab my bicep. Take that out of the equation so you actually get your tap versus losing your position when you were winning. And now Randy's gonna show something.
Do some mount escapes. And if any of you guys, come on. If any of you guys came to the Chris Burns seminar, he had some really good details on mount escapes. It's really day one stuff, but it's also 10 years down the road stuff. It's the things that are gonna carry you through however long you choose to do jujitsu. And I mean, it's all basic movements that translate into every position, all your escapes, all your submissions. It's all about hip movement, right? So George has got a mount on me, and go ahead and scoot up a little higher. He's got my elbows up. He's off of my hips, right? Me bucking like this, it's not really doing a lot to him. I've got all this, and it's not doing anything. So first thing, I've got to get my elbows down, right? This space that he's occupying with his knees, I need to own that, right? So first, I'm gonna bring my feet, and I'm not flat. I'm not all the way into my butt here, about halfway. I'm gonna pin my elbows to his legs. I'm not driving in for pain compliance. I'm just connecting to him, right? And from here, I'm gonna walk back. Now he's on my hips, right? So from this point, if I do it like this, he has to react, right? So all your mount escapes, for the most part, you gotta have hip connection. Otherwise, you're just flopping in there, moving on top of you. So from here, say he reaches down, try to go for a cross collar. From here, I'm coming up over. No thumb grip. I'm here, and I'm cupping his tricep. I'm not grabbing his gi because it moves. I'm cupping his tricep here, right? Pull your arm out. It's mine, right? I'm connected to him. He's on my hips. So from here, if I just, I'm gonna try to bridge, right? And you post, okay? If I just turn to my side like this, he's gonna stop this, right? This is not a shrimp, right? It's an upa. So from here, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna raise my hips high, and I'm gonna look back at bread at 12 o'clock, right? And I'm gonna go slow, right? George, stop me. Monitoring this grip. Here. Come back one more time. So he's got a mount. He's got my elbows up high. I'm getting dominated here, right? I gotta get the hip connection. So I'm bringing my elbows to the mat like this. And I'm walking here. Now he's on my hips. He reaches down, trying to choke me, coming over this wrist, cupping his tricep here. Check the grip. Can you get your arm out? Okay, that's good. From here, I'm gonna raise my hips as high as I can. 12 o'clock, straight back. Elbow goes, here goes to my shoulder like this. Looking at Sharpie. That's the first one. Anybody have any questions on that? Nothing at all? Okay, give it a shot. 1, 2.
Okay, buddy. Good.
First one was George sitting up tall, right? Good. He was here. He's far away from me. What if he beats me to the punch before I can start building a frame or controlling an arm or bucking him off me, right? Say he goes chest to chest, and he underhooks my head to one side, and he starts giving me shoulder pressure, right? So I can't, so go ahead and, if I try to bridge like this, I'm not gonna have a whole lot of love, right? So from here, it's not gonna be so much an upa as much as it is like a hip escape or shrimp, right? So he's giving me pressure here, driving my face to one side, right? Which means all his weight is going this way, right? So what I'm gonna do this foot here, I'm gonna go flat with it, and this hand, I'm gonna bring inside, and I'm gonna frame on his hip, right? On his skeletal structure. This foot here, it went from here, this one went flat, this one went at a 45-degree angle, and I'm driving into the mat. So George can give me all the pressure he wants to that side. What I'm gonna do from here, I'm gonna come here, driving my weight off of my left foot, framing on his hip. Now I've got space to bring my hand inside. I can come up, or an ankle lock, heel hook, whatever, or I can take him back this way and start attacking my own. Okay. Again. Do this side this time. All right, so same thing, different side. He's really giving me pressure here. He's chest to chest. You can hear how my voice sounds different, right? Going side to side, I can't. I'm bridging like this. I can't. He's got his heels pulled into my butt. He's got good pressure, good connection. So from here, this leg goes flat. This foot faces outside my hip. And this hand comes inside. From here, I've got a strong frame. Hand can come inside, come up here, just follow them all the way up. Okay, one more time without me talking. This side. Okay. Anybody have any questions? Not any of that.
Can I see how your legs are like locked whenever you come up out of that?
Yeah. Just go wide this time. So here. Flat. Outside. Here. This foot's in his hip. The other foot's hugging the back of his left butt cheek. Right. And then you can go here to dump them back this way. I'm gonna pinch my knees together and switch my hips. Good. Anything else? Okay, give it a shot. 1, 2. Turn
Turn the knees over, come up,
Oh,
slide or pass, yeah.
Just how?
Yeah, what you do with your legs, you turn them over.
Okay. So, go ahead and we'll just run through here. So, what am I doing now? You got this here, right? You got the pressure. I build the frame here. Now, I'm coming up here, right? And the question was, how do you turn them over from here, right? So all I'm doing, I'm pinching my knees together, right? I'm keeping the connection with my heel and the top of my foot on this leg. If it's here on the same side leg, it's not going to work, right? Because you see what he just did. Come up, George. Okay. All right. So now go back. My right foot is connected to the other leg, and this heel is connected to his hip, and I'm trying to push this heel to my knee. So can you come up now? My shin's made of frame. So from here, all I'm going to do, I'm going to turn my hips because he's connected to me. Back up. Try to run away. He's not, no hands, same thing. Right? It's not gonna, so I can turn him this way without using any hands or any grips. I'm pushing my hips up into his leg, turning this knee out, and we're here. And from here, it's just clearing that foot, right? If you break it down into the separate movements, if you do it fast, it looks like one thing, but it's not one thing. So come back. Same thing. Here. Connected. Blocking him from coming into me. Right? If you want the lapel, it's fine. Pinch the knees. Turn my hip out. Here. Okay? Anything else? Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure, thank you.
Okay?
borrow Mike.
Oh,
The man I watch a lot for a beginner class. So, he's gonna be on his back. So we're gonna kind of piggyback off what Cora was showing with this back take. 2 arm bars, I catch a lot of people doing because, you know, you got your back take arm bar here, and like Cora was talking about, when you're new or in the heat of the moment, heat of the passion, you know, you want to get point A to point B as quick as possible. So like Cora was talking about, 90% of the time without thinking, when you watch yourself back, if you film it or you watch these, this is most of us. And then Micah just pulls his arm out and we're like, I suck at arm bars. Everything Brian shows is a lie. If you do it like that, then yes, that is the concept you're going to take home. Is everything he shows just works when you're this rank. It doesn't work here. But, you know, if we slow it down and we just kind of become a little bit aggressive with it, like Cora's talking about, this hand here, if I give, that's too much space for Micah to do anything. Like if I do this and he just goes for that shoulder walk, as I do that, just push back. Now we're playing this game, and as you can see, we're back into what Cora was showing. So we get a little bit tight. As I like to joke in the classes I teach, he's my teddy bear. I want to stay nice and tight to him. I don't ever want to let him go. So we're going to shave his head. He's got nice hair. We're going to take that away. It's not nice. And then I'm not keeping, I know Cora talked about keeping a lot of stuff. I like to go from gable, wrist, and I'm pushing, forcefully pushing as I'm pulling that shoulder. Push, pull right here. Now, as I fall, I'm going to fall to my hip. It comes over. And I'm connected. I went from pushing this one, now I'm pushing with this one. Does this feel good? Doesn't feel great. Now, one way a lot of us like to finish is go to our back right here. And we do that, and now we're here, and then we're doing all this, and it just doesn't work, and we're struggling. So, if we come back up to the beginning, Brian showed this arm bar. God, this is why I wanted to show arm bars, because he showed this at the front of this whole 6-month cycle. And I fell in love with this style of arm bar because it's, a lot of times when you fall to your back, they pull the arm out, and then you're just a defenseless animal. Well, I guess I failed, and then they get to do what they want. I can fail 100 different submissions. I want to have an out to my submission, and that's the goal of this one, and it's worked for me. I shave his head. That's good pressure. He's not going to, and if he does start to shoulder walk on me, that's fine. And now, notice how I turn. Big toe is pointing down, driving my shin into him. I'm coming up here, just like we do for backward shrimpies. Elbow, palm. There's my arm bar, right up. And then I like to joke, if you're old as I am, old school, when we were kids in school, those paper cutters, that big sheath, that big, I'm not here, not here. Good angle. I'm driving this shin into him. As I pull this heel, and then you can't see it, I hip, and I'm pushing in. There's my tap, off the hip bone. Now, this is not the arm bar. That is an option. You will land this one a lot of times. Let's say, once again, everything Brian taught you is a lie. It doesn't work. Micah grabs my pants as we come up. I lost the grip, whatever. It happens. This is that idea of if you're on your back, he probably comes up, passes, and now you're on your back playing defense. I'm still in an offensive position. So one thing you can do easily here is this shin, as McMillan showed with the knee on belly, any kind of pressure on this stomach, chest, whatever, it's a beautiful thing because they will comply with you for fractions of a second, and that's all I need to get to where I need to, because he can have this leg all day. Grab that hip bone. Now I'm in side control, reverse Spider-Man. I can sit through transition, do all that fun stuff. Go right here. Position before submission. If you've been training here long enough, we used to have t-shirts with that for competition because everyone rushes. I don't have to rush when I'm right here. I've got side control. I've won the battle. I don't need my legs. I don't need tradition. This hip blocks his, or this forearm blocks his hip. He can shrimp all day. I've got control of his hips. I win side control. I'm in side control. Now, I'm not going to do what we all want to do, as Jerry Maguire would say. That right there, and then I do that. Because I do all that, he shrimps, I lose. I've got nice control. My knee is where I need it to be. Now I come over. I come under the head, over the head. It doesn't really matter here because we're going straight to knee on belly. So, right here. You can have controls, all that. The goal is to get that knee into the solar plex with that little hook. Another detail Brian added. This little lever hook, it's nice. He's going to do what happened when McMillan submitted him. Is he's going to, as I fix McGee, this is what you want. You want nice control on your partner so they feel it. He's going to push. Now, the second submission that everyone goes to from top is that far side armbar, whether it be from here or side control. Shoot under. As he pushes through, let him kick his booty out and roll it. That's fine. I'm in an active top side control still. Just right what we did a second ago from the back, except now my hands are reversed. I'm pushing, forcefully pushing his skull to the mat as I'm pulling his shoulder away from him. Now, I don't have like, I'm going to walk around. Now as I walk around, I'm going to step this right leg, whichever leg it may be, comes around. And I lean forward. This is where a lot of people fail right here because they try to rush it. I lean forward, pulling him with me. This foot that's behind the head is coming up under his shoulder. The top of my foot, I try to get that big toe touching the top of his shoulder right here. Here. Now I have his shoulder. He can try and do anything and run. And this is where I can come to the back. I don't like to go straight to my back because if you're double jointed, they're going to fight this. Turn his thumb and his pinky out that way. We're going off that hip again. There's my tap. Trying to be nice since I just destroyed him a knee on belt. It's an armbar transition to an armbar transition. If you do Muay Thai kickboxing, the old school right to right, armbar to armbar. There's a lot of fun in between it. Not so much for Micah, but you know, you get to have fun with his body. What is it, John Mayer? His body is a wonderland, explore it. And that's what we want here. We want him to feel fun and enjoyment in a different kind of way. He paid for this, remember, he paid for this training. So, you're not the bad guy here. Once again, you guys all know me. I'm not going to be nice you can't be nice to get this stuff. You got to put in the effort, you got to put in the, it's not fun for Mike, it's not supposed to. He's defending his life. You're trying to break both his arms. It doesn't bode well for him, so why would I make it easy for him to defend? I'm shaving his head. Now I'm pushing. There's a lot of forearm pressure right there. I'm on my side. All I'm going to do is kind of shoot my hips back as I push his head into the gap. It rhymes. That's how you know it makes sense. Control. I'm under his jaw or his throat this time. I'm on his throat. And I'm pulling, hipping. And I'm not hipping straight up. I'm hipping into the void right here. Shin pressure. Drives down in there. There's my tap. He pulls this arm. Grips, that's fine. Here. Shoot it through. Doesn't have to look pretty, but I'm here. I don't have to rush the side control. I got the hips. Now my knee is where it needs to be. I can transition. You catch this arm if you want to. Once again, I'm going to let it go for the purpose of this. You can't finish this with an arm over choke. I put my knee on belly. I get my good control. I love this Thai style grip, Muay Thai grip. It gets them to tap, do what you want. Like I said when I was doing this on Pizza Boy a while back and he had to tap out and then Carlos became my test dummy. If you get this correctly and you hold it, they're going to make mistakes. See, his arm's already out here, but realistically, he'd keep that in. He goes to push off that far side. A lot of times, we just run like wild people to get that. I'm going to go posture down, and I got control of his arm and his neck. Now, I step over. I'm still pulling pressure on that arm. I'm going to post and lean forward. And as I lean forward, this leg's up. I'm not dropping it. I'm going into that football, 3-point stance. As I'm pulling on his shoulder. Here. And then his foot, here. And I can sit. I can do anything. Like, I can even do this, try and run. I got control of his shoulder. He can run all day. Just whenever I want to do that. And then you can be nice with your foot. You can slam it down in there. And now I'm pushing my pinky toes into my heel. A little pressure on his neck as well. And then if I just hip up into that, there's my tap. For those of you who like it, wrist lock right there as well. Questions, concerns, thoughts? Let's do it.